Alright, so John Cole with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, I will be repairing my very own MM900 juicer because it's broken. And this is a common problem that can happen with the MM900 or virtually all other horizontal Omega juicers, including the 8001, 8002, 8003, 8004, 8005, 8006, 8007, 8008, NC800, and NC900, and of course the MM900. After I repair this problem, I'll be juicing celery in the MM900. The MM900 is a model that has been sold and promoted by Anthony William, known as the medical medium, for juicing celery. And I'll be doing an upcoming video comparing this to a very similar juicer that actually costs the same price but allows you to have more functionality. I did review this juicer previously. Check the link down below for that complete video where I determined that this machine puts more back pressure and that's why it makes more celery juice, which is a true thing. But the problem with that is that the cost of the celery juice, because it puts more back pressure, in my opinion, it heats up the juice and causes more oxidation and causes excess back pressure that can make the machine harder to clean, make more pulp in the screen, and and so that's the trade-off. So you got to determine. Plus, you don't have the option to make sorbets and nut butters that you can with a similar model that I'll be comparing in an upcoming video. So this machine surely has its pros and cons. And the other thing I will publicly state is that I'm a juicing expert. I've been juicing since 1995, continuous since that time, and I test all the major brand juicers. And I will tell you, fact of the matter right into your eyes, that this machine will not get the highest yield when juicing celery juice. I have the machine that will do it, and I will be making a video on that. The machine I have in mind makes 90% yield. It's not quite ready to be announced to the public just yet, and it also makes the highest quality celery juice that you've never tasted unless you're one of the first 32 people that I actually sold this unit to before it went out of stock for the next 2 months. Alright, so the other thing I will say is that since my last video, which has now been removed, I've been in talks and negotiations with Omega to restore my relationship with them so that I could get my customers good customer service and warranty service. So we are currently working on that. I'll have another video specifically on the steps we are taking to ensure that happens. So meanwhile, I want to show you guys how to fix this. Now, please be aware, opening your juicer or using any kind of tools to repair your juicer like I will be doing today may void your warranty. Omega makes the final determination on if you are voiding your warranty by doing the repair I am today. There's no way you could hurt yourself by doing this repair, because you're not taking the machine apart. There's no electrical stuff that you need to deal with, because this is a common issue. And instead of sending the machine back and getting them to repair it and send it back to you, you can easily do it yourself. So the challenge that occurs on almost every model Omega horizontal juicer is that this collar says open and close. You try to use it and it's stuck. I mean, mine, seriously, I'm a strong guy. It's stuck. I could maybe totally push it. And it totally goes really tight to close. Oh, and I need to go to open now. And I go to open. So what's happening is this collar here that's supposed to move back and forth freely. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm moving it and it kind of just jolts. So what happens is, especially due to the back pressure, because of the celery is sitting in here, sitting and spinning, some of it may come out of the seal here and then get into this back part, which then seeps down behind the motor body and this little collar thing so that it doesn't properly spin. So what you need to do is you need to basically take this apart, clean it, maybe put a little bit of oil on it, and then reassemble, and you'll be as good as new. Once again, this may void your warranty, so if you are concerned about that, call Omega before you do anything to ensure you do not void your warranty. Then that being said, good luck getting a hold of them, as I just had an email today from a customer that got hung up on. Now the first step before working on this juicer in this way, you will want to unplug the machine. Very important, so make sure you unplug the machine before you do any work. And the only tool you will need is a screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver. This one has a few adjustments on there. So we're gonna go ahead and put the, we want the smallest Phillips bit head instead of a large one. That's gonna work better. And what you guys will see is there are basically 4 screws that hold on this whole collar assembly that doesn't move very easily. So simply we're just going to go ahead and take a screwdriver and we're going to unscrew these screws. Don't strip these out, so when you're turning them to get them off, because they might be wrenched in there, push in while you're unscrewing. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. All right, and don't lose your screws, as I just dropped that last one. All right, so last screw coming out. So the first thing is, you know, if you're not handy with a screwdriver or never done anything like this before, please ask your husband, your wife, or, you know, a handyman type person. Maybe you're a kid that likes to fix things that has been successful at it. You know, to do this, it is really not that hard. I mean, I could almost do it with my eyes shut, but I've been fixing all kinds of stuff since I was a wee kid. So once you get the 4 screws out, then you're gonna have to like pull this off. And clearly on the bottom here, I don't know if you guys can see that on the HD, but clearly there's some kind of like sticky gunk on here. So if we move our hand around here, it's just at the bottom here that's all sticky and gooey. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take like a paper towel that's wet down pretty nicely, and you're just gonna rub it with the wet paper towel because you want to get all the stickiness around. And now I would just go around this whole area, try not to get this area wet right in here where the seal is. So that's number 1, so that's clean. The next part is this piece that came off. You guys are gonna see, actually right there, there's some more gunk on there. I mean, that's literally like some hardened juice junk that got, that hardened and is like literally like glue. We're just gonna go ahead and rub this and pretty much get it clean. So once we got it clean, then the next step that you might have to do, sometimes I do not recommend this, you might be able to just reassemble this and you might be good to go. Like right now I'm doing this and now it just totally runs really easily. But sometimes you'll have to remove this piece here. This gets a little more tricky, but if you remove this piece here, you also might want to see if there's any crud on this, and then clean this also with your wet rag or wet towel on the inside as well. That usually doesn't get too dirty, but sometimes that can be an issue. So if you take this part apart, then what you're going to see on the back here, so you can see we have these like little 3 little notches on the front side, but on the back side, if you look, it's all round, and then at the top there's like a little keyway. This is called the little keyway thing. This keyway thing at the top needs to go basically into the keyway in the top of this this collar that has a little handle on it. So we're just going to make sure we have this facing up, right here facing up, and this keyway is facing up, and we just basically slide this back in there so that they're both facing up, and then we're good to go. And then once you have that in there, then the next step is I like to take a little bit, not a lot. You just need maybe a drop. So what I would do is I would just basically take a drop of oil, just 1 drop, you don't need a lot, and then just smear it on there. This will kind of make it work a little bit better. Not necessary whatsoever. If you don't have oil, don't worry about it. I would use some kind of just cooking grade oil. This happens to be almond massage oil. And so then you got this collar, and this this top one, this top hole where this little keyway is, gets aligned on this top hole here. So you're just going to want to make sure that's lined up just like that. And then it's pretty much in place, and you guys can see, look at that. Look how easy that thing rolls back and forth. I can do it with 1 pinky, man, just goes back and forth. It's no longer stuck like it was. Super simple, super easy. Then we're going to go ahead and take our screws, very important. I know some of you guys are really strong. Don't try to like wrench this in like with super power strength, because you might end up stripping out the screw, which is not good. I'll just go ahead and get this one like kind of like finger tight basically, and then I'm gonna put in all 4, kind of like when you tighten the lugs on a tire. You want to just get them all kind of like, snug, and then go around and just carefully cinch them just a little bit. Don't put a lot of pressure on them, because you might strip out the screws. The screws on these guys aren't known to be like grade 8 or anything. All right, once they're all in place, then we're going to go ahead and firmly press in and give it like a final half a turn. Doesn't take much, just so that they're cinched down nice and tight. Don't make them too tight because you won't be able to get it apart next time. And look at this. Look how easy this goes. I mean, I could go back and forth. I could hit it back, and it just bounces back and forth like a little game or something. And that's how it really should work, so you could really see before it was really super stuck. Now you fixed your machine. I actually had a lady that had this issue. I didn't have this exact video. I had one similar, but now I got one with this juicer. But look at that. That's how easy it should go, man. But yeah, because of the back pressure, because juice will come out the seam, get down to the bottom, get in the back, and just dry, that caused the issue. Now look, we can open this, put it on, and close it really easily. Open and close, no problem whatsoever. Alright, that's how easy it is to fix your MM900. Next part of this video is I'll be juicing celery for the second time, because pretty much I used this the first time. I'm like, I don't like how that does celery. But I want to do it again just to verify the results in my first video. Once again, link is down below to that video. Alright, so I'm all ready to juice with the MM900, and basically to let you guys know the main difference with the MM900 compared to other machines that look like this is the special outlet cap that has this little red rubber dealy thingy in there. And what this rubber dealy thing is, it puts more back pressure on the celery as it comes out. It's very important to get this gasket in properly. Mine was in backwards actually. If you notice, this side is kind of smooth on here, and this side actually has like a little crease. I know some people probably put this in backwards, and that could probably cause problems with the machine. You want to make sure the side that's basically flat here, so this side, not this side, is facing the inside of the auger, because this basically goes around and wraps around the auger. So you want to make sure the part with like the little indentation is facing into this gasket. So this side goes in right here, and then you have a nice smooth surface. So this is correct, and if I put it in backwards, this is incorrect. This puts way too much back pressure on. It will give you a lot of problems, and I don't know if Omega explains this in the instruction manual, because I'm a guy and I don't read instruction manuals generally. So once you got this on, push that on, twist it in place. We got this fully assembled, and now we're going to go ahead and juice. This is 1 pack of organic romaine hearts. Alright, turn this machine on. And we're just going to put 1 stalk of celery in at a time. Let this crunch down and push down the produce. Alright, in order to save you guys some time, since this should be pretty much non-eventful, we're going to just go ahead and juice all this celery, and we're going to come back at you when I'm done. Alright, last bit of celery going in the MM900. Actually, I gotta say, this has worked pretty uneventfully. I mean, it's pretty much worked. The pulp kicked out. The juice, juice pretty good. There's some pulp infiltration right there, which I'm not a big fan of. Shows me poor quality, not tight-fitting parts, and I like things tight in many things in my life. The other thing is this will tend to back up a little bit more due to there being more back pressure on the juicer as you're juicing. But because of that, it may make a little bit higher yield. All pulp was kicked out without any issue. And I will say that for an auger style juicer, this pulp is fairly dry, but if we squeeze this, you guys can clearly see, I mean, there's still juice in that pulp. This is not completely dry like other methods I would use, alright? Once you turn off the machine, the next step is I always like to tip this machine up, because you'll see there'll be a lot of juice drips that you'll be losing if you just take the machine apart. Then I'll tip this up this direction. So I tip it back both directions. I will then move out my juice, pull in the catch cup, and then I could go ahead and I want to take this apart to show you guys actually what's going on inside there. So inside here, you guys can see when we pull this off, that green part did not come out. That's very important, right? So you want to make sure that you pull out that green part, because it will come out, and this is not a reversible gasket. Once again, it goes in only one way. And then you could pull out this part here, and a little bit of pulp on there. But look at this screen. This screen is pretty clogged up. That's because all the back pressure due to this little extra gasket in here. And then there's more pulp kind of coming out. So there may be more pulp actually in the juice, because basically it comes out the screen and it basically drops. It drops into the juice catch cup. So this is a design element. Gets more juice, but there's also more pulp in the juice, more back pressure. That could cause the back pressure to cause the juice to leak back here and then cause it to be stuck so you can't get it apart. You can see there's still like a lot of pulp left inside because it's not coming out as easily. And to me, this pulp is rather warm. This is supposed to be a cold press juicer, but this is probably the warmest cold press juicer that I've tested, and I only juiced 2 hearts of celery. So if it did more, it might even be more problematic. I will be doing a temperature test in the future, to revisit this. So if you don't mind the heat in the juice, I don't know if Anthony Williams says heat in the juice is bad or good. I'm not a fan of heating the juice overall. I'd rather have things cold, but that's how it is on this machine. Next, so we made over a cup of juice here. Let's go ahead and pour this in. I do use my own glass catch containers. So if we pour this in, basically 1 pack of the celery hearts. Oh yeah, look at that. Lots of pulp stuck here in the bottom that just came into the juicer. I'm not a big fan of that myself. So we made almost 16 ounces of juice with the 2 celery hearts that we juiced. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and try the juice for you guys. Oh my gosh. Dude, there is so much pulp in there, it's not even funny. I just use a sieve to catch out my pulp because I'm not a fan of pulp in the juice, and there is plenty with the MM900. Anyways, in this video, you've learned how to fix your MM900, and more importantly, how it juices celery. Make sure you click the link down below if you want to check out my in-depth review of the MM900 compared to my favorite, the Omega NC800 juicer. If you guys enjoyed this episode learning how to fix it, and if it helped you fix your Omega juicer, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and please be sure to share with somebody else that you guys could think it could help. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below. You never know where I'll show up, what new juicer I'll be testing, what new tips and tricks about juicing I'll be dropping on you guys, so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes. I'm coming out about every 5 to 7 days. Also, make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are wealth of knowledge. Over 600 episodes at this time on this YouTube channel dedicated to comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers and other appliances, including vacuum blenders that allow you to get more fresh fruits and vegetables in you because they're so good for you. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.